tonight, the Let Me Know Football crew is going to be looking at realistic coaches that can take over the selección after Javier Aguirre's run. Let's get into it. The scenario that you guys need to paint in your head is that we are the Federación. They just hired us to take over the position of decision makers. President, vice president, directivo, deportivo. And right now we're at a round table and we're discussing the movement forward. The Mundial just finished, 2026. We ended how we ended. And the first order of business is the coach for the selección. The first guy that I'm going to put on this list, the obvious, Rafa Márquez. First of all, I think that the Federation has done a great job for the first time ever of thinking about the future and putting something in line for the future. You know, I've never seen that before. So right now that they have Rafa there with Javier Aguirre for 2 years and then you take over, I think is fucking perfect. Yeah. The first thing that we can say is that Rafa Márquez was coached by some of the best coaches. And I'll just name two real quick: Pep Guardiola, Ricardo Lavolpe. You know, these guys are good, influential coaches, and he learned from both. You know what I mean? He also has like this leadership and authority, bro. He played in Barcelona, one of the best clubs, if not arguably the best club to have ever played, bro. I know we can go back and forth with that part, but when he played there, they were top notch, bro.
Yeah, of course.
And he was a leading figure in that team, you know?
A necessary piece,
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that he was able to see the game a little differently as a player. I think a big plus is that he is already in the coaching staff. He's already in the Selección Mexicana system. You know what I mean? So maybe some things that he didn't really get to see as a player, even as the leading player that he was, there's still quite a bit of backdoor dealings that he didn't get to see because he wasn't a coach, and those conversations were not for him. Now, as an assistant coach, I think he gets to kind of weigh it, or at least see some of these conversations, these backdoor dealings kind of be had. So kind of prepares him a little bit for his time. Couple of cons. Doesn't have much experience. I think he's only been with Barcelona B. It looks like that he had them playing well, but it does, like, it's not that much coaching experience. You know what I mean? And that right there is something that kind of worries me a little bit. And the other, I guess, con that you could say is that there are already huge expectations on him. Already. Because he's Rafa and the things that we just mentioned, everybody's expecting him to just turn things around and be good right off the bat. And if he's not, I wonder if the fans will turn on him that fast. Because you know how the Mexican fans are, bro. And this fool in a year maybe doesn't win 3 or 4 games. They already want his fucking head, bro, you know? And sometimes just because you were a great player and learn from the best doesn't mean that you as a person will be able to be a coach. It doesn't mean all that shit that you learned will translate into good coaching. That I've seen that personally. But if there's anybody who I think could do that, I think it is Rafa Márquez. So he'd be my first choice. Where are you guys at with that?
I agree, 100%.
Okay.
It's Rafa. For all the reasons that you said, I would only just say about the con. Yeah, no experience, real experience.
Right.
I would look at Scaloni for Argentina, fool. No experience either. And this fool became world champ.
Sure.
And he's been keeping the team together so much so that he's going to another World Cup, bro. Like
Hey,
that's their guy.
Great.
You know, that's their guy. And
That's a great point.
how many coaches have they had in the past, legendary coaches, with the best Messi, and they just couldn't get it done.
Right.
They couldn't get the group to work
Right,
together or anything like that. So Scaloni, you're like, bro, they're gonna bet on him, and they did, and they won.
Yeah.
So it worked. I know it's Argentina. I get it.
And there's a lot of
But that
favoritism they've received, but he as a coach
Sure.
achieved something that no other coaches have.
just the no experience part. I'm just comparing it to that. Just
Sure,
no-
sure,
it could work because
Right.
it did work here, so it
Right,
might
right, right.
work, bro.
No, for sure.
It's not like a crazy idea where you're like, yes, no.
He could make it work.
It could work. He's getting a fresh batch of players, bro, coming in.
I really
You know,
hope he
so-
does that. I really hope Rafa Márquez comes in and start to clearly make some movements. Clearly have some guys that he's like, I'm trying this guy out. I'm trying this guy out. I hope that people are going to be as patient as I am with Rafa Márquez, because they're going to win so many games, especially if he's trying things out, bringing in some young players, some new talent, while still meshing in with that we know we'll be back for another World Cup.
It makes sense. Like you said, like with Scaloni, yes, he's inexperienced, but him being a former player just recently too,
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
think he'll be able to bring the group together, and I think that's what Scaloni had in his favor too.
Sure.
All he did was just bring them together, you know.
Yeah.
Make them believe in themselves.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right, more
Move
than
in the
anything.
same direction. We're all moving in this direction.
We're all
That's a
going
big
this
part.
way.
Yeah.
Let's all do that together, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's what Rafa will bring. His tactics, I think his tactics are probably going to speak for themselves.
You probably don't need experience for, because that's the know-how.
Yeah.
That's the know-how.
Yeah.
And he's got it from
He's
one of the
really-
best school you can go
the
to, which is
same
Barca.
drills, the same like lessons.
It's different being a club coach and being a national team coach. You know?
100%.
Club,
100%.
club coach, you're with these players every day,
Right.
every single day, and then national coach, you don't see
You
them.
see 'em for
every
like
so
a
while,
week and a
you know,
half.
You see them for a week. You're working with them for like a week at a time.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, right?
And that's going to be a factor in some of these coaches that I name right now. That exact thing. But Rafa Márquez is my first one. Seems like we're all on board. My second one is Antonio Turco Mohamed. Okay. I think one of the pros I got for him right off the bat, he's won with 4 different teams in Mexico. Tijuana, America, Monterrey, Toluca. I don't think that's an easy feat. I don't think that's easy to do. And he did that shit with 4 teams. There was another team he was with that he didn't win with.
Pumas.
Pumas. You're
But
right.
he did get to the semifinal.
But they did, they did make a pretty far
Damn.
run, and that
Pretty
counts for
good.
something. So I think that's a big pro for this guy. He definitely knows like the Liga Mexicana culture, handling the press, the players, just what it's like. I've inadvertently followed his career. Like when Monterrey was doing well, I was kind of watching Monterrey a lot right there. When he won with America, I wasn't following America like that, but I was following Chivas and their rival. I was like, oh, fuck, how are they doing? And they fucking won, with him. And in Tijuana, he won with them as they were coming from the descenso. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really liked the idea of Cholos Quintles at the time, so I was like really following that team. And so he won with them. And to watch him do that, I was like, fuck, okay, he has something to him. Now, a couple cons outside of Mexico didn't do too well. We went to Celta de Vigo in Spain, was back 3 months later, was with Atletico Mineiro, and I don't know if he hit the full season. I don't think he did. He might, even if he did though, he was done right after that season. He didn't really do too well on that side. The other thing is that fool is a strong personality that can work in the favor of the selección, but it could work against, I guess, us if we're the directivos. But how political or how engaged, how much does the directivos like get involved with the shit that the seleccion's doing? I feel like pretty heavy, and I feel like this fool will clash with that shit. So that's like a little bit of a con, but if we are working with them and we're like, hey, all right, do what you do, a ver. The question is, does success with the Liga Mexicana translate to success with the selección? I think that's the real question right there,
That's what,
What do you guys think? Turco Mohamed on the table right now.
Yeah, bro, I have him on my list. Everything you named on the positive side of things, yes, exactly all that. Just the winner that he is, the teams that he won with, either with a lot of pressure, knowing that you have to win, or we didn't see it coming with Tijuana. Like, we did not see that coming, and they won.
And they won.
So he's won it in different styles, different pressure levels. So I love him, bro. I love him for that. What he's done recently with Toluca, back-to-back champion, of course, 100%. The clashing part, it does get me though, and I do believe that because according to this one that I listened to, Don David Medrano, he said that Bielsa was a lock. Bielsa was gonna come to Mexico, and he's like, I just need control of what you just said, everything within like the grassroots up into the selection. I need control of all of that, and he was gonna take less money. But
I heard
the selección, the business that it is, bro.
They were just like, no.
Yeah, they were just like, no, dude, this business is too big for that. Like, we already got it this way, so we can't do that, So that's what's okay that I want it, So just have somebody like that, like Bielsa in there, and I think Turco's kind of the same. Yeah. Just, I need control. I need control of everything. And if you're not going to give me that, then I don't want it, bro.
I want to say most coaches will probably come with that request. I need to be able to handle things.
But the thing with him, too, like, he's won with different teams.
Yeah.
Four different teams.
That's a big part right there.
And it's a big part, especially in Mexico.
Yeah. He won with a small team. He's won with big teams. America, Monterrey, and Toluca. So he's won with different tiers of teams.
So I think it would still make sense. Like, even though they don't give him everything he wants, like, I think he'll be able to work it out.
Some way, somehow.
Be able to just do what he does. Because, I mean, that experience of him being able to win a championship with 4 different teams, it says a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
His teams
It's
play
different
well, too.
environments,
It's not like his teams don't play well.
Yeah.
His teams play well.
Oh, you could tell right away, bro. Like, he works them.
There's like a distinct identity that these guys have. That clearly comes from him.
For sure.
I feel like Mexico could use something like that. A clear identity. This is what we're gonna be. Let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And he's somebody who played in the league, bro.
Oh, that's another point too. As a player, so he understands back and forth the Mexican politics and their press and the culture. Like, he understands it, bro. He's been there for a long. He's probably been there more now at this point than he has been in Argentina.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Like a La Volpe type.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this guy wasn't my third choice, but I'm going to name him because you just named him. And I think that he's somebody who I would consider a slightly outside of the box pick, but still makes enough sense. So I'm going to go with Marcelo Bielsa. I think he's overdue for his time with Mexico. I think he's pretty well known. I mean, he's been all over the world coaching. International experience, club experience, Argentina, Chile, Marseille in France, Leeds, Uruguay, Bilbao. You know, he's been with teams, and he's even worked in Mexico before in the 90s. He was with America, and I think it was Atlas.
Yeah.
And so he's been there. So I think that he is a guy who might be a little outside of the box, but is also like, we've danced with him before. You know what I mean? The directivos. He wants control of everything down up.
And it's not a crazy request.
I don't think it's a crazy
not,
request.
bro.
In fact, I would consider it. Like, you know what? I think you're right. Let's go with it. Here's your 4 years. Let's see what you do. I would totally be up for that.
But he is on the older side too, though.
So that's why I'm saying, like, it's now or never. Either we get him now or we never get him because he's just old and I don't even know. Dick, this fool sits on a cooler while he's coaching a game, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so he's an old timer for sure, but his ideas, his philosophy, the influence that he's had to all the other coaches, I think speaks volumes. A lot of coaches. Worldwide, some of the best coaches come from like
a lot
his
of seminars
school.
and stuff.
Exactly.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's now or never. We're either going to get him now or we're never going to get him. And his style of play, because he's also another guy with clear identity. His teams play with clear identity.
Yeah.
What his identity is, high intensity, high press. Mexico could have used that. You know, I don't know if Aguirre is kind of like that too, but I don't know if he's tactically sound or tactically a better manager than Bielsa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's my pick. What do you guys think?
I like it. I didn't have him on my list, but I like it, bro. I like it because he was already there in Atlas, in the 90s with Atlas, and he took the same approach of like, let me control the academy and the first team, and I'll make this team work, and he did. So, and he left that school in Atlas. Like, that's the way they do things, you know? So just doing that, like, let him work, bro. Let him do his thing. Like, he knows what he's doing. And especially because of the age that you're saying, like, he's getting up there, bro. He used to crouch down, now he has to use the cooler. He used to crouch down the whole half, bro. Like, there, bro, your knees, like, you don't feel your knees.
Yeah. But his mind, though.
His mind, bro. And he's a top coach. Like, he's like, on a short list of, like, if you just, like, globally, he's up there, bro.
Right.
As one of the top coaches.
Right.
So
he's a good pick, but I don't think I'd get him.
Why?
His time's done.
He's too old already?
Yeah, he's too old.
So you don't like the idea of it's now or never?
It's
There's
never.
better candidates. It's
Never.
His time passed. The
His
time that
passed.
we could have had him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he would entertain it.
I think they went looking for him, what, like a couple years ago?
When they went with Tata Martino and Osorio,
Yeah.
there were rumors that he
It
was
was in between that.
yeah, that he was within the
Not that
candidates.
far
and-
back, but
No,
kind of.
no, but 8 years from 8 years
Right now
make
he's
a
with
difference.
right now he's with Uruguay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, it sounds like he's not doing too well. Like, he doesn't have the locker room. They don't really like him. It's the whole thing. But which was another, like, wonder for me. Will the Mexican respond well to that shit? That high demand that this fool has? Would they respond well to that? Or do you get someone like Alexis Vega, like, fuck this fool. Fuck, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Someone like a bitch ass Chucky Lozano, you know, like, no. Do you know who I am? And Marcelo is like, I don't give a fuck who you are, you know? And how's that gonna mesh?
Yeah,
you know.
bro.
So that's a
And
little
honestly,
bit of a
I think in professional sports and in the Mexico national team specifically, I should just say that the players have a lot of control, bro.
yeah.
The players have a lot of control.
Yeah.
So
It's me or him. Either I leave or he leaves.
yeah.
And the fucking federation.
stars.
Like,
I'm saying the stars.
The stars.
Yeah.
And the
Star
federation's
players.
like, you know what? I'll get rid of him.
Yeah.
You, the star, 'cause you're making me the money.
Yeah. I think that's why he wants control from grassroots, bro. Because he's like, no, I need to implement what I'm trying to do
From the
when they're
bottom
young,
up. Yeah.
so that they buy into
That's
it.
true.
You know, because these players, like, I know we're beating up Chucky, but like, Chucky is not gonna buy into it, bro. Like, I've been doing this my whole life.
Yeah, I'm 28,
and
30, 32.
I'm good, bro. I'm too good for
You're gonna
whatever you're
teach me
saying.
nothing.
If it was 6, 8 years ago, then yes.
Sure.
But right
Like
now,
when they brought in Juan Carlos Osorio, they brought in Bielsa instead.
instead of
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah,
But-
perfect
You know what
timing.
I'm saying?
Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah. All right, here's my next one. Guillermo Almada. I've liked what he's done with Pachuca. He's proven to work in the Liga Mexicana. He won with Pachuca. I think it was the Apertura. He got to the final of the Clausura. He won the Conca Champions. So he knows what it's like to be there. He is a proven coach or developer of young talent. And right now he's in Spain. Granted, his team's in last place. but they brought him in when this team was recently relegated or promoted. They fired the coach that promoted them, so they brought in Guillermo Almada. That's a tough situation to be in the first place, especially when you don't have European experience as a coach. But I think this fool also has a high demand and has a specific approach, a specific strict approach that I always thought the selection would do good with. But then that brings up a similar con to Marcelo Bielsa. Will the Mexican respond well to that? And this also brings up the question that you said. I mean, in the selection, you only get them for a week, maybe two.
Yeah.
You know, every international window, which isn't always every month. Is Guillermo Almada's style more meant for a club team, you know, where he can teach and really like implement his style to his players? Is that meant more for a club?
Day-to-day.
Yeah, or can he make that happen with the selección? I think that's the question that it raises. But what do you guys think about Guillermo Almada?
Yeah, he's on my list.
He's on
my list. Yeah, everything you said, plus where he succeeded, Pachuca, they tend to debut a lot of youngsters. So if he's doing that already from Pachuca, then you know that he has a way of working the youngsters and they respond to it. The pressuring, the hustle, that Uruguayan spirit, bro, of like never giving up.
Yeah.
You know? Keep going. Like Fede Valverde.
Yeah.
This fool's like non-stop, bro. He does. I'm sure he's tired, but he plays like he's not tired.
Yeah, he does.
So Uruguayans are like that. They have that spirit. So I think he getting these players out of Pachuca with that sense of like, don't give up, keep going. So the most recent one that I can think of is Sanchez, Chiquito Sanchez. To me, he's not like a great player, but Almada made him look like a great player, bro. You know, and so I think he has a chance of doing that with the Mexican player specifically. Like he's been there in the league,
with the youngsters,
because of what he did in Pachuca,
being
like
able to build them up.
Exactly, and especially like if we trying to like.
Well, see, that's the other thing. Well, that comes back to what he was saying, or what I was saying too. Is he in the club team? He's gonna have him day to day. Will it translate when he's with the national team? Because he's not gonna have him day to day. You know.
And I think that's why it works out so well specifically for this new cycle, is that a lot of the players that are going to this World Cup, they're not going to come back. So you're working with a new batch.
A new batch.
So if you were going to try it, it'll be right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Now when they're already like overdeveloped, they're already in their own ways, it's kind of hard. You're going to clash. But you get a lot of youngsters, a lot of fools from the Sub-23, Sub-21, I think it was. I think he might, like, Emilio Mora.
Yeah.
Right now, still, bro, he could still work with him and shape him. You know what I mean? Like the way he wants him to play, and that garra, the fucking like balls out. You know?
Yeah, because those Pachuca teams that he had, they've played good. They've always played. They've had an identity.
For sure.
Yeah.
Most recently, I should say. Most recently is Chiquito Sanchez is the most recent one.
Yeah, I heard
where
what
I
you were
was
saying.
like, America bottom.
How did he make it there?
How did he make it there?
I agree.
You know, but Almada has it, because as soon as Almada left, bro, Pachuca
There's
just
somebody else
tanked.
though that's coming up though from Pachuca.
Montiel?
Yeah. Les
Montiel.
Montiel.
Yeah, you're right.
Montiel.
They got some good youngsters right now.
Les
Of
Montiel.
course. No, but I was just telling this fool that Pachuca, like he debuted a lot of like Mexican players, like the ones that we just mentioned.
Young ones.
Yeah.
And so I think if there was a time to bring him, it would be
Probably
now,
now.
where he's getting a few of these
Sure.
Sub-21 players in there.
Right.
You know, he can shape and mold them in the playing style that he has.
I think you're right.
So I have him on my list for sure.
I don't have him on my list.
Cool, Almada?
Almada, no.
Oh, dang.
But I have my last suggestion, or my last pick. Like, if we were the directivos, this is the last guy who I think of the five, this is the guy, you know, that I also feel we could get on there.
All right.
No particular order, but I have to name him because I love him. Matias Almeida.
Oh.
Matias Almeida, bro. Matias
Yeah,
Almeida.
no, I have him on my list.
He
was the third.
He was a third for you?
Mm-hmm.
So he's a proven winner with Chivas. He won the Campeonato. He won 2 Copa MX. He won the Conca Champions. Then the Super Copa that they had, I think it was against Tigres too.
Yeah.
But he won 5 championships in a time where Chivas was in a crisis. He won with the team that he probably shouldn't have won with. None of those players were playing with the selección at the time. Some of them would have been argued like, oh, he's either washed up or he's just not good enough, and he won a championship. All these championships with these players right there. No superstars. So we know that he can punch above his weight. I think that's a big thing that the selección needs to do. Players that just aren't there, we need to make them believe like they can, so that they go out there and compete like they can. Think about it right now. We don't exactly have the talent. They're okay, but they're not what we used to be. someone like Matias Almeida, I think, will bring out the best out of him, you know?
For sure.
I also think he's a good
That's what he
tactician.
has.
The way he makes his subs, his starting lineup, the who he has where. I just feel like he's a good tactician, a good game manager right there. And that's not every coach has that. Not every good coach is a good game manager. That's like a skill in itself. So I think he has that. I can't think of any cons for him except one. Just one. And this is the only con I'll give this fool. His time at San Jose Earthquakes. But I don't think him being with the selección, that part matters. Because then he went to go, he's won with River Plate. He's won with Vélez or Banfield. He won with Chivas. He won in Greece with Athens. And he did the same thing he did at Chivas, bro. Won a championship. The Copa that they have, bro. And he's literally the top 3 teams the whole time he was there. Now at Sevilla, you know?
Yeah.
Mid-table, a little under mid-table, but this is first year. Hopefully they give him some time to do it. But I think that he's a realistic option, even to this day. It would have been great to have him right after Chivas, but I still think he's a good option to this day. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm actually ashamed that I don't have him on my list, bro.
Oh,
I am super ashamed. I just went with like the most recent
sure.
Yeah.
winners of Liga MX.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's
Right.
what I went with. But damn, I'm ashamed I didn't think about him. But you're right. You're right. Everything that he did with Chivas, I think he was a little too ambitious for the San Jose team. I
Yeah.
think he thought like I could do it, bro.
I thought he could too.
I could take that team somewhere.
I
and if
believed
he
it.
did do something right there, then that's big, bro. I mean, you're making that team do something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
It was
San
just
Jose,
too trash of a
San
team.
Jose
It was too trash.
so trash.
It was too trash, bro.
Nobody could have done that.
No,
Not
no.
Guardiola, not Mourinho, not Klopp, not
Yep.
fucking anybody.
No.
Nobody would have done that.
There's
with
nothing
them.
you can do with
They
that.
were that trash.
Yeah.
San
You know
Jose
what I mean?
Earthquakes was that trash.
Yes, bro. And still are probably, right? I mean,
Yeah. Who even
I
are
mean,
they?
come
bro?
on, bro. Yeah, so they needed with that trash roster a trash coach, and he's not a trash coach, bro.
No, he's
They made him look like a trash coach, but he is not a trash coach, bro. So he went somewhere else to a different country, bro, and won over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 3 different countries that he's won
That
in.
is exactly.
You know, Sevilla is not an easy team
No.
to deal with, bro, to coach. Because like you said, mid-level. But they sold all their players. All the players that they
Yeah.
won with the Copa
He has
the
a
Europa
right.
League.
New
Right.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's hard,
They're in need
bro.
of a resurgence,
yeah.
which
Hard.
is what
Starting
he
from
does.
scratch.
That's
Yeah.
what he does, though. So
So
hopefully they give him his time.
I like him. I like him that you put him on your list. I get it. I didn't think about him, but I should add him. He should be on my list.
Yeah.
I
have
ha-
him on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. For sure.
You're down with him?
Yeah. I mean, you're never not gonna think about him, you know?
Damn.
I
yeah, I'm
know.
ashamed.
I know.
Yeah, you're right.
I know. Chivas Leyendas.
Yeah.
He's even
Yeah.
played on that team, bro. Chivas Leyendas. He's even played with them, bro.
Get out.
Yeah, you never seen
For
that?
real?
You never seen
Oh,
that?
I gotta
Matias
watch
played with
this.
Chivas Leyendas, bro. You never seen that? That's crazy.
Oh, I love that.
I cried.
For sure.
But all right, we'll go ahead and finish off this segment right here. I would like to hear from you guys. Let me know which coaches you think could realistically take over the selección right after Javier Aguirre, maybe even after Rafa Márquez. But comment down below. Let me know.